So on the podcast, we interview a lot of business owners, animal rescues, but today I wanted to interview somebody who really inspires me, and to watch Desiree's growth has been absolutely incredible. So today we have Desiree. Hi, Desiree.
Hi, Jack.
Thanks for being on today. I wanted everybody to know how awesome you are, but before we kind of get into it, how long have you been in Vegas?
Born and raised.
Are you serious?
Yeah, one of the few.
Thought my wife was the only one. There's a couple more of you guys. What was Vegas like growing up?
I mean, great. I didn't really know anywhere else to compare it to, but it was awesome. It's kind of like a small town in a big city.
How much has it changed?
It's changed a lot. I mean, it's grown a lot. Like where I grew up, one of the houses I grew up in, there was like nothing out there, and now it's,
Fully developed.
So yeah, it's changed a lot. But Vegas, we get spoiled in Vegas because you go other places and, you don't realize that everything being open 24 hours, the accessibility to everything's convenient in Vegas. And so when you go to other places, you're like, in fact, I was just in North Dakota and everything was closed on Sunday and Monday. I'm like, what do you mean? How is that even possible?
On what days? Sundays and Mondays?
A lot of places. I shouldn't say everywhere, but yeah.
We are truly spoiled here, and we forget how incredible the food is. There's so many great restaurants.
Yeah. I mean, you have to go to the Strip for them, but yeah.
What were you doing in, what'd you say, North Dakota, South Dakota?
I was dropping my daughter off to college.
Oh, that's exciting.
Exciting and devastating, yes. No, but mostly exciting.
That is awesome. So how much has it changed? Because Kelly tells me stories, my wife, all the time. I don't know if she's making it up or she saw it in a movie. She said she used to ride her horse through the drive-thru at McDonald's and ride her horse to the drive-in movie. I don't know if this is true or not, but I've been here probably 25 years, and I remember like dirt everywhere. So it's changed quite a bit.
It's changed a lot. Yeah, it has. And it's like, I mean, I think one of the best cities because there's so much to offer, and you can, we're in real estate, so you can buy a really beautiful home for half the cost of, some of these other cities like California, Seattle, the places that people are moving here from. So it's an incredible city, and it's affordable.
For sure. Before we get into the real estate, what was your career kind of before you got into real estate?
So I started my career in advertising, and I did that for 17 years. I started as a kind of receptionist, data entry at a advertising agency, and I worked my way up from there, and I became a media buyer. And I worked at the first ad agency for, I think, 8 years, and then...
What goes on at an ad agency? I'm thinking
so
like The Devil Wears Prada. I'm off, right?
It's more like Mad Men. Have you ever watched Mad Men?
Mm-mm.
It's more, and that's all about an advertising agency. So it's more like...
So is advertising like radio, magazines,
yes.
newspaper?
So all of it.
All of it?
All of it.
Okay. What led you to that career path?
So my aunt sold radio. So she was on the opposite side, became a buyer, but she sold radio advertisement. And I went to work with her one day. I think it was like bring your kid to work or something. And she doesn't have kids, so she brought me. And I was like, this is amazing. I want to do what you do. And so I started looking into advertising. And funny enough, my cousin was the receptionist data entry person, and she was getting married and moving to Hawaii because her husband was military. So she was like, hey,
jumped in that spot.
They're looking for someone to replace me. Do you want to interview for this? And I was like, yeah. I think I was like 19. So like right out of high school.
How was it going to high school here in Vegas?
Good. It was great. It was fun.
Yeah. Good times.
Yeah.
So You were at the ad agency for 17 years. That's a long time.
Well, I was in advertising for 17 years. Yeah. Not the same ad agency, but yeah.
What made you get into real estate?
So I loved advertising, but it's a grind and it's a lot of hours. You know, I took work home with me. Not that advertising is or real estate is any different, but
were you selling ads or buying ads?
No,
or
it was buying.
How does that work?
So I would work for ad agencies as the buyer, and we had
So a
clients.
business would come up to you and say, I want to advertise?
Well, not to me specifically, but big organizations. Like, for example, I was the buyer on Phantom of the Opera that opened in the Venetian. So big clients like that, like MGM, you know, it depended on the ad agency that I was with. But they had an advertising budget, and let's say their budget was $5 million for the year, and they would say, "Okay, Desiree, you're the expert. You tell me where these dollars are best used." And then I would put together a comprehensive media plan for them, and tell them this is where I recommend you spend your advertising dollars.
That's impressive.
Yeah, it was, and I would get like amazing perks. Like I would get concert tickets all the time because the radio stations, the television stations, they wanted my business. So they would, hey, I'm going to invite you to this concert. I'm going to give you tickets to this. Come check out the opening of this restaurant, because they wanted me to add them to my advertising plan. So it was cool.
That's awesome. It sounds like you've learned a lot in that business, right?
I did a lot. I grew up in that business because I started when I was 18, 19, and yeah.
What was your favorite or biggest client you had?
One of the ad agencies I worked for was Curve and Doak, and that was one of my favorite agencies I worked for because they're just so classy, and the way they handle business, and they had some really incredible clients. I want to say Phantom of the Opera. That was really cool. My name was in the playbook.
Really?
As part of the, marketing team, and
that's
so
super cool.
That was a really cool. I don't know if you saw that show at the Venetian, but that theater was built specifically for.
Wow.
The chandelier that fell. Oh, I forget how much money they spent on that, but the entire theater was built around Phantom of the Opera. So I got to see it from its conception. So that was super cool.
What do you mean fell? Was that part of the show, or?
You haven't seen Phantom of the Opera?
I'm sorry, no.
You got to watch Phantom of the Opera tonight, at least the movie.
Okay. Is there a chandelier falling in the movie?
There's a chandelier that falls.
Okay.
Yep.
I'll let you know.
It's a big part of
if I end up.
But it was usually in the plays, like on Broadway, and it's just like a little chandelier that kind of comes down. This was like massive.
Really?
And it came like this far from the people's head sitting under it. So it was really cool. Vegas, we don't do anything.
No, we do it big.
Yeah.
If you don't believe us, go to a Golden Knights game and you'll see.
Yeah, exactly. So that was really cool. I want to say that was my favorite.
Now I know why your newsletters look so beautiful, because you were in advertising.
Yeah.
You know what? It would have been so helpful when you were in advertising if you could go on ChatGPT and say, how should I spend this $5 million?
Oh, could you imagine?
It'll take you like 30 seconds. Instead, you're just stressed out.
Instead, I had to do everything by hand and computer.
But that's good. That's what made you what you are today. So 17 years in that industry is a long time. What made you want to transition to real estate?
So I have a daughter, and at the time I had married my husband, who also had 2 boys, and they were little, so 3, 5, and 8. And, I was always the last to pick them up from school, and because, I had to be at work until 5. And
yeah.
I had a talk with my husband, and I was like, I'm just burnt out. It's a grind, and I had done it for 17 years, and I loved it, but I was like, I want more freedom. And my mom has been a real estate broker, commercial, but she's been a real estate broker for 30 something years. I was like, I think I want to get my real estate license. I see how successful you can be. Plus you have the freedom to kind of make your own schedule. Although when you're working full time, you really don't have freedom, but
yeah. It's funny. A lot of people get into this business and say it's because I want to make my own schedule, but then you end up working 7 days a week all the time. Unless you don't take it serious, and then you really make up your own schedule and work when you feel like working.
But it's still you're in the driver's seat. You control how much you want to work and
So
how well you want to
around
do.
it,
So you
yeah.
can, yeah. So yes, I work 24/7. I answer my phone even at 9:00 at night if a client calls me. But that's my decision, you know, versus having to work for someone. And so.
So did you always kind of have it in the back of your head when you saw your mom's business, or is it something that just kind of opened your eyes when you decide to do it?
No, I didn't really have it in the back of my head because I loved advertising for so long. I was so happy. And then it just got to be a lot. And then when I had kids, so then I started thinking, you know, what can I do? And I love that real estate is something that everybody is interested about. Like everybody wants to know, hey, what's going on with the market? When are interest rates going to drop? Like there's not a single person that's not interested in real estate. And so I loved the idea of being knowledgeable about something that everybody, you know, you either want to buy a house, or you own a home, or you own several homes, or you own, I liked that. And so not only the freedom, but, and I actually love looking at homes. When I was in real estate school, the teacher was like, if you are getting your license because you love looking at homes, you're doing this for the wrong reason. But I disagree. I'm like, no, I like looking at
Did you
homes.
disagree right away, or were you like, oh shoot, maybe they're right?
I was like, well, that's one of the reasons I'm doing this. So, but he said, you need to be a people person. You need to like people, which I agree with that, because that's primarily what it's about. But I also like to look at homes.
What you said is very true, though, and sometimes I don't realize it, though, is everybody has a stake in it, and it's people's biggest asset of their life. So whether they're buying or selling or just happy in their house, they want to know what's going on with this biggest investment that they own.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you either own a home or you want to own a home.
Yeah.
Eventually, you know.
So you went to real estate school, and when you got out of real estate school and started doing it, were you like, this is exactly what I wanted, or what was that process
so like? I actually got really blessed. I started at Realty One, and there was an agent, a very successful agent, who she was asking the brokerage if someone wanted to do an open house for one of her listings. So I said, oh, I'll do it. And she said, hey, can you do some showing assistance for me? And there's a client that's in town, and I remember he was doing a 1031 exchange, and he had a certain amount of time where he had to find a house. And she's like, he needs to see these 5 homes. Can you go show them? And I said, yeah, absolutely. I mean, I was brand spanking new.
Right.
And so I'm
Just
excited
to
and then she said, can I take you under my wing and you know, kind of be my showing assistant? And I was like, Donna Lefevre.
Okay.
That's her name. I don't know if you remember. She was Realty One.
Nice.
And I remember the sales manager at the time was like, this is like unheard of for someone to do this, like right out of the bat. And so, I was like, so I kind of, you know, assisted her. And then I wound up getting diagnosed with breast cancer.
Oh my goodness.
About a year after I got my license. And so that kind of put a halt to everything.
How do you juggle that with the kids, with everything? That just sounds super tough.
Yeah, it was. I mean, no one expects to get a cancer diagnosis. And so, but I was very fortunate. I had surgery, and by the grace of God, I didn't need to have chemo. So I was, the whole process and the shock of it was so jolting and life-changing. But then, because you don't know what to expect. You're kind of planning your funeral in your head because you don't know anything else other than what you've seen and heard. And so it was, a journey to finally find out, okay, I had surgery and I didn't need to have chemo by the grace of God. And so, but that did put my career on hold for a bit.
How long did all that take till you were good again?
From the time I was diagnosed in October, which is actually Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And then I had my surgery. I had to have 2 surgeries. I had one in December, and then I had another in February. And so altogether, like a few months.
That's wild. Sorry you had to go through that. I mean, what advice would you give to somebody who's going through it or just found out?
Trust in God, that's for sure. Put him first, and lots of prayer. I remember I would practically stop people at the grocery store and be like, "Will you pray for me?" Like I had no shame in asking. I could
really see you doing that.
100%, yeah. So that was first and foremost. He's the one who carried me through it, but doctors are the most important. Who your surgeon is, who your oncologist is, like do your research and make sure that you're, with the very best. If not in Las Vegas, then if you have to go outside of the city. I stayed in Las Vegas, but.
And now, is there any groups or anything like you're involved with to support that, or?
I am. Actually, I sit on the board of the American Cancer Society.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So I was, in my advertising career, my friend had been telling me, Des, this was later on, but she was like, because she's on the board, and she was like, you really should join us, and I'd love for you to be a board member. And I was like, oh, yeah, maybe next year, maybe. And so I kind of put it off, and then finally I decided to do it. And so, so I've done the breast cancer walk, and I really help them primarily with that aspect because they feel that I have experience in it. So, but yeah.
That's awesome. Your advertising career, who would have thought later would be benefiting such a great cause. So you bounce back from that back to real estate?
Yeah, so I was independent. I became an independent agent, and I really just focused on the kids at that point, and I kind of just did friends and family. Really did it part-time. And I probably did like maybe 3-5 deals at the most. And then when my daughter was getting her driver's license, I was like, I'm going to need to fill my time with something. Because it's such you have kids, when they start to drive, it's such a weird, it's such a big shift because you don't realize how much time you spend with them, taking them to school, taking them to their activities. And so when she was going to be driving and when the boys were driving, and it was like, I'm going to have all this time. So I'm like, I have this license that will allow me to have a very successful, lucrative career. I need to really get serious about this. And so there was someone that I knew at H&E, and he always spoke so highly of it, Gianni. And he had nothing but wonderful things to say about it. But he always told me, he's like, well, we're no joke. Like, you got to come to the office every day. You got to look presentable. Our agents don't wear leggings and workout clothes. Like, we're the real deal. Like, we're in this full time. And I'm like, I don't think I'm ready for that. And so when I was ready for it, I called him and I was like, hey, do you know, like, tell me more about this. I think I want to join a team because I need some accountability and some direction and help. And that's when I met you.
Yeah. That's awesome. I mean, we're blessed to have you, and I wanted everybody to know how special you are. And speaking of kids, I have a son and a daughter, and you know, my daughter, obviously she works with us. She runs all our social media. She's crushing it, helps with our listings, crushing that. But I in a way, like, I've always worked so hard to be that example for my kids, but I feel like having you as a role model for her is more impressive than me, because to show that, you know, you're a woman in this industry and now you're absolutely crushing it. I mean, before, I don't think you were, because you just weren't all in. You know, now that you're all in, there's no stopping you. But I think her, you know, seeing you and you being a role model for young women to show that it's not all perfect. Life happens. Things happen, you know, whether it's health, whether it's different things we go through. But to be able to bounce back and absolutely, I mean, you're doing so much business now and your clients love you and everything you do is perfection. And it's hard to see in this industry. So I just want to thank you for being an amazing role model for my daughter and, you know, other women out there too.
You're going to make me cry. I'm getting teared up.
I'm going to make you cry?
Yeah.
Breast cancer didn't make you cry,
no.
But I'm going to make you cry. It's true. You're an inspiration, and to see that, and it's not easy raising kids and going through health issues and all that, and then to be able to just reinvent yourself and just be incredible. So speaking all that, because you could probably sit here for an hour with me complimenting you and you'd be
Please.
Okay with it.
I mean, we have another 45 minutes.
Right?
So
what advice would you give to my daughter, to other women out there who, you know, can go through everything and also be super successful?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, I love what I do. I love real estate, and I love our team. I really do. You've put together an incredible group of people to work together. I mean, we all get along so well. Mm-hmm. You've done an amazing job at picking the right people to work together, and so I look forward to seeing you guys and working together and being amongst the best. I mean, really, H&E is like, I feel proud to say that I'm part of it and that I'm on the Jack Greenberg team. And so that makes such a difference. If you genuinely love what you do, then, I mean, like, I genuinely loved advertising until it was time to move on. But that's so important, because I feel like you really give it your all when you love it, you know, and it's rewarding. Like, I take calls at 9:00 at night because I want to, not because I have to, but it's because I genuinely want to. These people, you know, we're helping people with the biggest purchase of their life, and they're nervous, and we're the experts, and they want to know, like, you know, what's next, what's this, what's that. And so I'm happy to do it. So I think that's important, to really, to pick something, pick a career that you love to do. And not everybody is fortunate enough to do that. But I think if you're young enough and you set your mind on what it is that you want to do and go for it, that's a game changer.
That's great advice. So you think, like, the number one thing is it's got to be something you love?
I think so.
Okay.
Because if you're passionate about it and you love what you do, it doesn't feel like work, you know? It really doesn't.
I tell people that all the time. I'm like, I work 7 days a week, and then I'm like, I'm not really working because this is what I love. And the passion, you know, you could see it, and I can see yours, and that's what I appreciate so much about you. But why did you choose, you know, Huntington and Ellis, obviously top brokerage in town, all the top agents. For somebody just getting back, you really put yourself out there.
I feel like I didn't know what I was getting myself into really at first. But yeah, when, you know, I found out about myself 9 years ago. I decided to stop drinking. And through that, I really learned a lot about myself. And when I put my mind to something that I want to do, there's no stopping me from doing it. And when I decided I'm going to really go all in and be successful at this, I went all in and I gave it my all, and will continue to give it my all. But I learned that about myself. Like, I don't like to fail. Mm-hmm. I'm more competitive than I thought that I was prior to being on this team, and not in a bad way. I think we're all competitive in a healthy way, you know. But yeah, I like to be amongst the top, and but you got to work hard to be amongst the top. And I have you as my leader.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I appreciate the kind words. I mean, I think your clients are super blessed to get you as their agent, because I watch behind the scenes and you don't stop. I mean, you're just like, everything's perfect. Everything has to go right. And to the point you're stressing yourself out, but it translates to the client having the best experience of their life. Because the reason I started the team 5-6 years ago, and you know, being in this 20 some years, it drove me crazy seeing part-time agents, people doing it half-ass. And this is somebody's biggest purchase of their life. So to watch you do it is such a beautiful art. And, you know, it's incredible. That's, your story just gets better and better. So, I mean, to be able to beat breast cancer, to be able to, you know, say, I'm not drinking anymore and just stop. And, you know, you said, what, 9 years?
It'll be 10 years in February.
That's incredible. And for me, you know, not that I drink that much, but I'll have a cocktail here and there. But it seems like I didn't realize how challenging it was, because I'm like, I haven't had a drink since January, and then I'll go hang out with my friends, just have one. And it's like, you don't realize like how tough that is. So the fact that you did it for 10 years when I was just like kind of testing it that's impressive.
Yeah, I mean, it's so socially, it's just a social accepting thing, right? You go out for drinks, you have drinks at dinner, but for me, it was kind of a life or death thing. So when I decided to stop, that was it. And don't get me wrong, it's by the grace of God, and he's who helps me, and he's my strength. But I did learn through that I don't like to fail. And when I put my mind to something, I don't give up.
That's so beautiful. God is good, for sure. Wow, I thought you were a great role model before all this, but I mean, this is deep even more, because, you know, I don't know. I like seeing these stories. For me, like, you know, people will see success and people will see what I've done, and they will say, oh, you know, you're so lucky, or this or that. But it's like, you saw chapter 25. You didn't see all the chapters that it took to lead up to this moment. All the ups, all the downs, all the health issues we went through with me, my son, different things. It's like, they don't see all that stuff. So to me, that's why when I say you're a role model, like, I mean it 110%, because you can't help people or show them the light or tell them it's going to be okay. Because I feel like when I sit down with you and I give you advice on a deal or a situation, I think you respect it because I've been through it.
Yeah. And
I think it carries more weight. And that's why I hope that you see what an inspiration you are to people, because, you know, battling, you know, the stuff you battle, bounce back, battle this, bounce back. There's nothing that will hold you down. And I know we've had some talks sometimes where you're like, am I really this good, or is this a fluke, or this isn't? It's like from the outside, it's easy to see that it's definitely not.
Yeah, it's like the imposter syndrome where you're like, I mean, last year I had a year that I thought I would never have. I exceeded my goals, and it was incredible. And I was like, maybe it is a fluke. Maybe it's never going to happen again. Maybe I just got lucky.
And I kind of messed with you for a while about it, and I had fun with it. It was entertaining for me, but it's 100% not. And do you think when people are going through tough times that that's stuff that's going to help us in the long run? Make us stronger?
Oh, 100%. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I mean, everything that I went through has only made me stronger. And you kind of learn about yourself, and you learn about who you really are, and what your strengths are and what your weaknesses are. I mean, things could have been much worse. I could have had a breast cancer diagnosis where it was terminal, and so by the grace of God, it wasn't. But having gone through, certain things, getting sober, and you just, you either come out stronger or you don't come out of it at all, I think, right?
Mm-hmm. It's a beautiful thing, Desiree. I'm proud of you. And just to see kind of, where you'll help. I mean, you're helping clients who are buying multi-million-dollar houses. You're helping first-time home buyers. You really don't care. You just want to help as many people as you can.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I've done $1 million deals, and I think I sold a condo for $150,000. It doesn't matter. It's just helping people. And your clients become, especially you've taught us this, like your clients become your friends. They become your forever clients. It's not a one and done. There's so many agents where, they do that transaction and that's it. They never see them again. But you've taught us where, they're your client for life. We keep in touch. I send them postcards. We do the, little gifts that we give them every quarter, and the parties that we throw thanks to you. It's amazing. And it's all thanks to the business that you've built and taught us.
What's the most rewarding part about being a business owner?
I think helping people. Like, I just closed on a cute family. He's in active military, and they have 3 kids, and they just bought their first home. And I love working with first-time home buyers. I love, they're so excited, and they're so they hang on every word you say because they want to know what the process is. And I love working with first-time home buyers. And so it might sound cheesy, but the joy of seeing them be able to be a homeowner, it's really cool. I mean, it really is the biggest purchase of most people's lives. And for us to be able to help guide them through that it's a rewarding thing.
Yeah. I mean, I worked in the hotel industry for years, valet, different jobs, and I was always like, when's my lunch? When do I get to go home? And I did love the people I worked with. They're still my best friends to this day. But when I drive to work right now, sometimes I have to pinch myself and look up and say, thank you, God. I don't know what I did to deserve this, but I am so blessed.
Totally.
This is I'm helping people with their biggest purchase of their life. I'm helping people with a house. Everybody needs that. You need food, shelter. This is, I don't know. It's super, super rewarding. But I can go on about that forever.
Well, it's so funny how you say, when's my lunch? I totally relate to that. The clocking in and clocking out. Not that I had to physically clock in and clock out, but I remember one of the agencies I had to work with, people were taking advantage of their lunch breaks. So you had to write in the time that you left. And I think that was when I was like, okay, I think it's time for me to.
And now they have to force us to eat. It's like,
right.
Yeah.
I'll go all day.
Should we get some food or?
I'll go all day without eating.
It's
so
wild. What advice, because I know having kids at home and, I told my wife, stay at home, I'll work 3 jobs, before having to do that, because it's not easy raising kids. No. What advice would you give to women out there who are trying to do both and juggle all that?
I mean, so I mentioned earlier that I dropped my daughter off to college this year, and then I'm dropping my son this upcoming week. And it's, that comes first. Your family still always comes first. But you can do both, I'm still there for my clients, and I'm still there for my family too. And a lot of times I'm praying and just saying, God, help me to organize this day, because I have so much going on, but I need to, I need to put Ava, Caleb, Sean, I need to, put them first and make sure that I'm still doing what I need to do for work. So relying on prayer, relying on God. And, I mean, the fact that I have a career that I love has helped me tremendously through this transition of taking our kids to college, because it was, I've been talking about it all year. My daughter's going to college this year. I literally have been talking about it for, if you ask Michael, I've been talking about it for 3 years. Yeah. But it's helped me tremendously to have a team that I love and have a career that I love and have clients that I love to work with, because it's something of my own. But
I saw it click for you this last couple of years, where you were before, and correct me if I'm wrong, I think you had the fear of, I want to be like the mom and be present, because you don't get that time back, and it makes 100% sense. But I also can't be a busy agent, because then I'm taken away from that, where I saw it click for you to where you're like, I can do both.
Yeah. I know it. I was like, okay, this is going to be the year where I'm putting my kids first, and I've managed to do that, but I've also managed to have a successful and good year. But yeah,
What do you think the trick to that is? I want to give that secret sauce out.
Gosh, what's the trick to that? I have to say that it's all God, because He knew where my heart was. You're going to make me cry. He knew where my heart was, and that I wanted to put my kids first. So the week that I dropped my daughter to school, I was like, everything, all of my escrows, I had, everything was kind of done, the inspections were done. And so I was able to not take that week off, because I was still answering calls and doing all of those things, but I didn't really get bombarded. And then the minute I got back into town, boom, I got bombarded with, that's God.
Yeah.
He knew where my heart was, and He knew, and I can't take credit for that. That was like all Him, and then now I'm so busy, good busy, I have a new listing, I'm working with buyers, but that week that I was dropping her, I was able to be there, and I was able to be present, and it was just, I have to say it was God. It wasn't anything that I did.
I appreciate you holding the tears back, because you would have made me cry if I saw you cry. Then we would have been crying. Wow, this is deep, a lot of stuff, but from what I gather from you, it sounds like obviously, you can do both. You got to believe, you got to have faith, you got to just, it's tough. I mean, raising kids is tough. Being a woman running a business is tough. Having to take care of the household and all that. to see you do it at such a high level, I think is inspiring.
Well, when you're a mom, so like, it's so sad to drop your kids to college because so much of your identity is a mom, and taking your kids to school, picking them up, going to sports, doing this, doing that. And then when they graduate high school, it's like such a huge change for you, you know? And so I'm so grateful that I have a career and a team that I love because it was something for me.
Yeah.
Like, it was something that I was doing for me, and I wanted to be successful, and I wanted to contribute to my family, and so I'm so grateful for it. Otherwise, I'd probably be a basket case right now.
But that's what I was looking for right there. What you said is exactly what I was looking for, because I worked so hard to keep my wife at home with the kids because you'll never get that time back.
No.
Plus, I didn't want, unfortunately, nowadays, you know, back in the day, one person working would be able to carry the household. Now it's tough. You know, both parents have to work. But even though, you know, God blessed me to be able to do that, looking at that and looking at you being able to work with you and some of the other, you know, female agents on our team, is raising the kids is the hardest job in the world. And making sure they're raised the right way, but that becomes their identity, where I feel like that's a blessing, but you need your identity too.
Totally.
And I think seeing you come in the office and just, you know, how you start glowing, I think that's important for my wife to have the animals, the farm. You can't just be a mom, because then when the kids go somewhere or this or that, you know, it's heartbreaking when you need to be able to do that. That's why I think women are the greatest thing in the world, to be able to do that, but also have your identity. So I think the message, and I don't want to send it for you, is like, do that to the best, but also figure out a way to be successful no matter what it is you want to do. And like you started off by saying, you have to be passionate about it. Is that right, what I said, or did I just, I don't know.
Totally.
I mean,
yeah, I think that's the key. And pick something that you love and you know that you're going to love to do, because then it doesn't feel like work.
Yeah.
You know?
Great advice.
And to, if people are watching this, are thinking about getting into real estate, do your homework. There's a lot of teams out there. There's a lot of brokerages, but really do your homework to find the best one. I mean, God planted me on like the most amazing team at the most amazing brokerage. But had I done it, you know, a couple years earlier, I don't know how that would have turned out, because I was still in like, well, I want to be, you know, a mom. I want to be present. I want to be all about that. And so I feel like I did it right at the perfect time. And now I have something for me. And, you know.
But it was awesome to see her junior and senior year. You were still super present for her on top of like everything else.
Having an incredible year.
Yeah. So Desiree will help you with multi-million-dollar houses, with your first house, your last house, investors.
Selling.
You will help anybody.
Selling a house.
Don't let the Louis Vuitton earrings and Gucci bag fool you. She will help any price range.
100%.
Let's sell people on Vegas. I ask everybody who's on the podcast, sell people on Vegas. If they're moving here or their friends want to move here or somebody's coming here, what's so awesome about Vegas?
I would say, gosh, there's a lot of things. I had mentioned that you can buy a really beautiful home for you know, not a crazy amount of money. You know, a $2 million home here looks very different from a $2 million home in California. A $500,000 house here looks very different from a $500,000 house in other markets. So you can have a really beautiful life here and it be attainable. You know, you can own a home here, and that's attainable. There's a lot of places where you can't afford to buy a home.
It's even harder nowadays. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, New York, like California, a lot of people just rent.
I don't even know how. It's impossible almost.
So I love that. I love the convenience of the city. I mean, everywhere you go.
20 minutes.
20 minutes, and there's valet parking.
Yeah.
There's tons of parking in a parking lot, and the convenience of it all.
We take that stuff for granted.
Totally.
Yeah, until you go somewhere else and you're like, man, we got it good. I always joke with you that you shine in restaurants. So give us your top 3 favorite. Doesn't have to be in order.
Oh my gosh. My top 3 favorite. I love that Casa de Juliet.
Okay.
That Mexican
we filmed
restaurant.
over there. Yeah.
Yeah.
We had
My
one of the
husband and I
owners here.
love that place. It's close to where we live, so I love it.
What do you eat when you go there?
The fajitas and the corn.
You love the place next door too.
Nataya's. warm spinach salad.
Yes.
Yep.
That's delish. Well, you gave us 2. Give us one more. And those 2 are right next door to each other.
They are. Well, there's a Nataya's.
Oh, yeah. In Lake Mead?
In Lake Mead. Yeah, Lake Mead. Somewhere on the Strip? Somewhere local?
No. Give me somewhere good.
I love North Italia, too. So I did Mexican,
Italian and
Thai.
Perfect. Thank you. You nailed all 3. So after hearing this, everybody's going to want to use you as their agent. So give them your social media. What's your Instagram?
What is my Instagram? Desiree.
Just
LV.
look up Desiree.
Desiree Steward. But Steward with a D.
With a D?
With a D.
Okay.
Not with a T.
Yes. Don't worry. We'll put it. I wanted to see if
Desiree
you would know.
LV Homes?
Don't worry about it. We're going to put it in the
Desiree
description.
LV.
I just wanted to see you struggle.
You put me on the spot.
Yeah.
I don't know.
We're going to put all your information in the description. Everybody who hears this is going to want to use you. They hear what an incredible story, and they know you'll take the transaction serious instead of, somebody who's maybe not going to take it as serious. I appreciate your time. I appreciate you opening up. I think you're going to help a lot of people.
Thanks, Jack. Thanks for all the compliments.
Thank you.